balls so dry, they explode like dust.
Suck my balls, suck my balls.
You must suck my golf balls. Mommy,
Yes?
suck my balls.
You got a lot of growing up to do, buddy. Suck my balls.
Sorry I'm different, but you can just suck my clit and my balls. You know what? That would. Suck my clit and balls. I don't have to suck your balls. Before this day is over, you will suck my balls. Suck my balls, fat ass. I will. I will suck your balls, Kyle. And I will get down on my knee and I will suck your balls. I'll suck them dry, Kyle. Suck my balls, Kyle. Well, excuse my French, Mrs. Marsh, but you can suck my fat, hairy balls.
Suck my big balls in your hairy butthole. Suck your big balls in your hairy balls, your hairy butthole.
What is that?
It's my balls.
God damn it, Cartman!
How would you like to suck my balls?
What did you say?
I'm sorry. Actually, what I said was... How would you like to suck my balls, Mr. Garrison?
Holy shit, dude.
Come on down to South Park and meet some friends of mine.
What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to another edition of Suck My Balls. Suck 'em dry, put 'em in your mouth, and suck 'em, suck 'em, suck 'em. A South Park review. I'm one half of this duo, this force to be reckoned with, the two best friends that anyone could have, the Stan and Kyle of the universe. I am one half of this duo. I am your host with the most, who lives on that West Coast, MSG, your boy Mathew Shaffer Gage, but you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Mathew_Shaffer. I am, of course, chilling with my boy, my compadre, my amigo, go, my hot dog in my bun. I don't remember what movie it was, but I think it was Blades of Glory when he looks down and he's into like two guys are going to be figure skating with each other, and they go to the hot dog vendor and he's got two hot dogs inside of a bun. And he's like, does this look right to you?
Does this look right to you?
My co-host Ian Calano. What a way to start this show. How you doing, buddy?
Doing pretty good. How about?
I'm doing great. We are here. We're back for another episode of Suck My Balls South Park Review. We just got done watching it. That's why we're laughing so hard, because there was a lot of good one-liners that I forgot about in this episode. Just like in the first 3 minutes, they hit you hard and fast. And
yes,
I was like, dang, I forgot how funny this was. And it takes you back, takes you on a little bit of a journey. But if you haven't checked out our first episode, please go back and do it, where we break down Jesus versus Frosty and Jesus versus Santa.
Iconic ones.
Iconic ones. Now, as we come back for episode 2, before we start the new episode, the final conclusion of season 23 just happened. Did you happen to finally watch it?
I did.
As far as a whole, because we don't want to review the episodes. What did you think of the overall season? Don't get into the episode. What did you think?
I think it we should call it what it is. I think it's Randy's season. You know, I think it was Randy's. Finally, Randy got his season.
Legitimately, that's true, because if you think about the first 6 episodes, they're all Randy. First 7 episodes, realistically, they're all Randy, actually.
The Integrity season finale. And
then you get the Scott Malkinson show, or you get the Chick show, the Scott Malkinson show, and then you go into the Christmas finale, and it's supposed to be Santa. That's what you think it's going to be about, but then eventually it turns into an Integrity Farms Christmas special.
Who's got that kind of power? I love. Oh man, we're gonna get too into it, man.
Well, we definitely will. But overall, as a season, I thought that this was That's a good point. It's just a Randy season. I mean, it was a good season nonetheless. It was funny. It had good points.
Fantastic.
I thought it had a lot of good original content that they went back to, just as far as making the jokes and less political stuff. that they had gotten into because of Garrison becoming the president, which we'll get to, which is crazy story that Mr. Garrison, when we think back now watching episode 1 with Mr. Hat.
With Mr. Hat. Why don't you tell Mr. Hat?
So let's talk about the first episode. Cartman gets an anal probe. Now, Cartman Gets an Anal Probe is actually the series premiere of the American animated television series, South Park. It first aired on Comedy Central in the United States on August 13th, 1997. The episode actually introduces, of course, these child protagonists, Eric Cartman, Kyle Broflovsky, Stan Marsh, and Kenny McCormack, who attempt to rescue Kyle's younger brother, Ike, who we haven't been told is from Canada, but he has the beady little eyes and the up and down mouth, from being abducted by aliens. So now, at the time of the writing of this episode, South Park creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone did not yet actually have a series contract with Comedy Central. Short on money, the creators animated the series using paper cutout stop motion technique, similar to the short films that were the precursors to the series. It actually remains the only South Park episode animated largely without the use of any computer technology. Interestingly enough, though, part of the reaction to the culture wars of the 1990s in the United States, South Park is actually deliberately offensive. Much of the show's humor and Cartman Gets an Anal Probe arises from the juxtaposition of the innocence of childhood and violent, crude behavior exhibited by the main characters. Now, despite South Park's eventual rise to immense popularity and acclaim, initial reviews of the pilot were generally negative. Critics singled out the gratuitous obscenity of the show for particular scorn. Regarding the amount of obscenity in the episode, Parker later commented that they felt pressure to live up to the earlier shorts, which first made the duo popular. Critics also compare South Park unfavorably with what they felt were more complex and nuanced animated shows such as Beavis and Butthead and The Simpsons. So South Park, the initial pilot, did not get the most rave reviews, but I go back and I watch this episode today, Ian, and I watched it 2 days ago, Ian. It's a great episode.
The pilot, but if you look at it, the first season was actually a success as far as ratings goes, because it bumped it up on the Nielsen scale from like 1.3 to 6.4. So that pilot episode, yeah, but I mean, I don't know.
Well, basically, I mean, this episode itself got some backlash, right? Because just the offensive nature of it, right? I mean, that's just the true, both hard fact about it.
So it is just a pilot. I thought it was just like episode 1.
Well, I mean, this was essentially the first episode, but they didn't actually have a contract yet. After they pitched this to Comedy Central picked it up, then ordered 12 additional episodes to create a 13-episode season. And then they got money and went back and created the rest of the episode, right? So as Kyle, Stan, Kenny, and Cartman wait for the school bus, Kyle's little brother Ike tries to follow Kyle to school.
Kick the baby!
Ready, Ike? Kick the baby!
Don't kick the baby.
Kick the baby!
Yes, we start out with the infamous kick the baby. Also, we got the early onslaught of Kenny using his muffled voice to explain what things are when they called Ike a little dildo.
Go home, you little dildo. Dude, don't call my brother a dildo. What's a dildo? Well, I don't know. And I'll bet Cartman doesn't know either. I know what it means. Well, what? I'm not telling you. What's a dildo, Kenny? Yeah, that's what Kyle's little brother is, all right.
Did you happen to look up at all, or could you comprehend at this point at all in time what Kenny was saying?
I could, like, after watching the show so much, you can kind of actually understand. You can basically guess. And he told him what a dildo was, and it was kind of, they're like, ew. And like that brings me to another point that I have here. So if you think about it, you can tell that Kenny clearly knows what just about everything is that the boys don't. And it's hilarious because he'll sit there and he'll tell them, and then they'll be like, what? I didn't know Wendy had a cat. And then Kenny laughs first, and then all the other boys laugh. Did you catch that?
Holy crap! It says she wants to meet me at Stark's Pond after school. Whoa. Maybe you can kiss her or slip her the tongue. What? How do you know she has a cat?
Yeah.
Because Kenny was like, "Oh, you motherfuckers don't know what a fucking pussy is." Like, because you could kind of hear him say like, "Oh, maybe you'll let." You could kind of guess that maybe she'll let you play with her pussy. You know what I mean? Like you can kind of get like, it's just, I think the early Kenny knows and the boys don't, which I think is hilarious. The Kenny's like all knowing and the boys just like kind of like don't understand it.
So this episode, of course, starts with Cartman saying, "You guys, I had a bad dream last night. I was dreaming that I was laying in my bed, and these aliens came down, and they had big black eyes, and they were long and skinny, and they took me up to their UFO."
Whoa, Cartman. Looks like you didn't get much sleep last night. That's because I was having these bogus nightmares. Really? What about? Well, I dreamt that I was lying in my bed, in the dark, when all of a sudden this bright blue light filled the room. And then slowly my bedroom door began to open, and then the next thing I remember, I was being dragged through a hallway. Then I was lying on a table, and these scary aliens wanted to operate on me, and they had big heads and big black eyes.
And he goes to this whole spiel. Of course, they're like, "Dude, no, you were fucking abducted by visitors." Like, those are visitors, dude.
Yeah, you got abducted.
And he's like, "Nah, dude, my mom said it's all a dream." She said it's all a dream, guys. It's a dream. No, this episode, this part of the episode was funny because Cartman, we're getting the actual introduction of Cartman in this episode. Like that, he's definitely the one the boys don't necessarily like the most, right? Right away.
Yeah.
So
it's like,
go ahead.
No,
I was gonna say the others try to convince him that the events did not happen and that the aliens are called visitors. Cartman refuses to believe them. And then Chef pulls up in his car and asks the boys if they saw the alien spaceship the previous evening, inadvertently confirming Cartman's dream.
Say, did any of you children see the alien spaceship last night?
Huh? Yeah, Fat Boy saw it. No, that was just a dream. And I'm not fat, I'm big boned.
Oh, was it the ones with the big long heads and the black eyes?
No, they took him on their ship.
Oh, did they give you an anal probe?
What's an anal probe?
That's when they put this big metal hoopajou up your butt.
Whoa, they gave you an anal probe, Cartman? No, I mean, why would they do that? Dude, they did, huh? Aliens stuck stuff up your ass. No.
Okay.
Shut up, Dodo.
Well, I got to get to the cafeteria. You children watch that fat boy now. He could be under alien control.
And this, of course, this leads to the conversation. What would the visitors do, Chef? Well, children, they'd abduct him and stick it up your butt. Stick something up your butt. And Kyle's like, or Stan's like, is that what they did, Cartman? Did they stick something up your ass?
Then, at this point, this is when they start to play kick the baby because I can't go to school with them, right? So they get on the bus. He kicks the baby so far, the baby goes like tumbling around. They get on the bus. They're in the back of the bus. They're looking out the window. He sees the baby getting taken off. Baby Ike getting taken off by the alien. Oh, no, Ike!
Oh, my God! Visitors! Oh, no! Ike! Stop the bus! Miss Crabtree, you have to stop this bus! Do you want an office referral? No. Then sit down! But I...
He goes up to the bus driver. You gotta stop the bus! Sit down and shut up!
He's like, oh, that fat bitch. What did you say? I said I have a bad itch.
See, this is where they're pushing it. You know what I'm saying? Kick the baby, anal probe. I have a bad itch.
And then he says, that crazy bitch won't let us. What did you say? I said rabbits eat lettuce.
They sure do.
Oh, they sure do.
Oh, that's right. They sure do.
Yeah, it was pretty good sequence of events here leading up. They hit you hard, they hit you fast. Now you're on the bus, and they're all like, "Hey, Cartman, is that the same aliens that got you?" And Cartman's like, "Shut up, guys."
And then Kyle starts freaking out. And then all of a sudden Stan farts. And then Kyle's like, you farted. And it's just like, you know, he's freaking out. His brother's abducted by an alien, but a fart. Okay.
Did you notice that in certain scenes of the bus, they had children on the bus, but then there's only like certain cutscenes where there's only 4 of them on the bus?
Yeah, I kind of noticed that, but I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah, no. I would just notice they probably used that for like, you know, reduce cost wise. So they were like, you know, we only have to show them in so many shots, if you will. So after Chef leaves, the school bus picks up the boys, looking out the back window, like you mentioned. They watching horrors. The visitors abduct Kyle. Now, so they get to school now. Cartman is inside the class.
Farting fire.
Right, they're in the classroom. Mr. Garrison's trying to teach.
Just sit here. I have to help my stupid brother. I'll come home without him, and my dad will start yelling, "Where's your brother, Kyle? You weren't looking out for your little brother, Kyle." Okay, let's ditch school and go find him. You know he can't think on his own, Kyle. Brush and floss, Kyle. Where has that finger been, Kyle? Dude!
And then Kyle's trying to get out of going to... Kyle's trying to like go home, and Stan's like, "Dude, what are you doing here? Like, why don't you just ask Mr. Garrison if you get excused?" So, but it also started. So, so like Garrison was like, you know, taking questions. Kyle raised his hand, asked if he could be excused. Says, "I have to go. My little brother's been abducted by aliens." And Garrison's like, "Well, did you ask Mr. Hat?"
I don't want to ask Mr. Hat. I'm asking you.
Oh, I think you should ask Mr. Hat.
Mr. Hat, may I please be excused from class?
Well, Kyle.
No! You hear me? You go to hell! You go to hell and you die!
Guess you'll have to take your seat, Kyle.
Damn it! Haha, Mr. Hat yelled at you.
Whoa, Mr. Hat.
I'm sorry, Kyle.
Well, Kyle, there you go. Sorry, Kyle.
And then Cartman laughs, heh heh, and then he farts. And that's when you see the farting fire. And like you see Garrison say, do you need to sit in the corners until you control your flaming gas?
Damn, Cartman! Dude, he's farting fire! It's the alien anal probe. It's shooting fire from Cartman's rectum. No, that was just a dream.
Eric, do you need to sit in the corner until your flaming gas is under control?
No, Mr. Garrison, I'm fine.
Okay, so I have a question. Is that he clearly sets Pip on fire?
Yep.
How long do we know that Pip is from England? Like, how long does it take? Do we get to know Pip?
I want to say it's by at least season 2 or 3 before they give Pip his own full episode, and they do it in like a Oliver Stone kind of fashion. I think.
That's right.
Where he's like a poor little kid who gets to go to college or whatever. It's interesting. I don't know. But like that episode, in all honesty, as far as every South Park episode, is probably my least favorite episode. It's the Pip episode.
I don't even remember it, so
we'll get to it, unfortunately.
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, we will. All right, so as we mentioned, Cartman is beginning to fart fire after, they go to the lunchroom now. This is funny. Stan's like, "Cartman, how can you think about eating at a time right now?" Cartman says,
Ugh, I sure am hungry. How can you eat when you're farting fire? Shut up, dude. You're being totally immature.
"Ah, Stan, you're so immature." I was like, that popped me when he said that. And I was like, man, Cartman, that was a great line. You're so immature right now.
And then cue Wendy Testerbergy.
Wendy Testerberger.
Testerberger.
So Wendy Testerberger's cued. And then they're all like, every time Stan tries to talk to Wendy, he throws up. He's been doing that still for 23 seasons. You'd think he'd figure it out by now. You'd think he'd figure it out, Ian.
But he
doesn't. He doesn't. So they go into the lunchroom, and Chef's like, "Hey, what's going on, children?" And and he's like, "Oh no!" He says, "What are we having for lunch today?" And he says, we're having Salisbury steak and a side of whatever blah. And then Cartman goes, kick ass. Kick ass. He's so excited. He's so excited about this Salisbury steak. So they end up telling Chef that they're having a problem with someone or whatever. And he's like, oh, children, let me sing you a song. And that's when he sings them, I'm going to make love to you, woman.
Chef, have you ever had something happen to you, but nobody believed you?
Oh, children. That's a problem we've all had to face at some time or another. Here, let me sing you a little song. It might clear things up. I'm gonna make love to you, woman. Gonna lay you down by the fire and caress your womanly body. Make you moan and perspire. Gonna get those juices flowing. We're making love, baby, love, baby, love, baby. Huh?
For no reason.
Sweet fire.
I'm gonna make love to you,
woman.
Gonna lay you down by the fire. Goes this whole spiel, the whole song had nothing to do with what they were trying to ask. I'm gonna love you, love you. And they're like, Chef. They finally break it up. They're like, and he's like, what's got you down that could be so bad? And he's like, Kyle's little brother got abducted by aliens. And he's like, what are you standing in the kitchen talking about Salisbury steak with me? You need to get out.
It can be so bad. It's Salisbury steak day.
Visitors took Kyle's baby brother.
What? What the hell do you think you're doing in school eating Salisbury steak?
You need to get out. Go on.
So eventually, Cartman continues to think that they're trying to mess with him. A probe or a little device comes out of his rectum. I don't know if you noticed this. I caught this. When it comes out of him, Chef turns him around to check out his behind, and Cartman makes like the most foul like facial expression. Like no one's gonna be able to see this, but he's like, like he's so pissed that people are like someone's looking up his butt. Like, and from his perspective, I can understand where he's coming from. You know.
Yeah.
No one really likes to have anything looked up their butt, bro.
No, not really.
So anyway, the boys do get out of school because Chef pulls the fire alarm, right?
Mm-hmm. They go running.
They start singing their song. We got out of school. No more school today.
And then something happens with Cartman, right? And this is where he starts singing his. I like to sing it. I like to sing about the moon and the June.
Yeah, so they're like, dude, now Cartman continues to fart, is what it was. And they're like, dude, you don't have to do that anymore. We got out of school. And he's like, I'm trying. You think I want to like continue to fart? And then like they're like, dude, it's because you're under alien control. And he's like, dude, I am not under alien control. And that's when they hit you with that classic like 1950s, 60s Looney Tunes cartoon song.
I know it was just a dream. I know I didn't have an anal probe. And I know that I am not under alien control.
I love to sing about the moon and the June and the spring. I love to sing about a sky of blue or a T42.
I love to sing about the moon and the June and the spring. About a sky for two and a T for you or two. And then like he gets taken back over control. And they're like, dude, what the fuck was that? Well, he's under their control. So eventually the aliens do appear. And they throw a rock at the UFO spaceship and then they blast Kenny. And that's where we get the infamous line. Screw you, or oh my God, they killed Kenny, you bastards.
Oh my God, they killed Kenny, you bastards!
And then,
but this first time they kill him, though, was pretty horrific. Like he gets thrown into the street, run over by cows, it's like 3 things happen to him. He gets blasted.
No. You were onto it. He gets blasted into the street. He gets run over by cows. He gets hit by a car.
And that's what kills him, right? No, he's still alive. Then what kills him? What kills him?
Like rats or something.
Fudge. The fuck kills him?
And that was it. That was the 3 things.
That was the 3 things?
That was the 3 things. He got zapped by a UFO, ran over by cows, and hit by a car.
Jeez.
That's actually the rule of 3s in comedy.
Yeah.
Right. So like they did that in 3. So like he gets, and then they're like, dude, Kenny's dead. And then Cartman's like, no, he's not dead. He's faking it. And then they pull his head off.
See, look, he's dead.
Right. And at this point, Cartman's like,
savage.
God damn it, I didn't have an anal probe. Screw you guys, I'm going home.
screw you guys, I'm going home. So that's the first time we hear that line. And then Kyle's like, Stan, you're all I have left. And Stan's like, I gotta go down to Stark's pond and get me some loving get me some good loving while the fire's hot or whatever. Like Chef says, I gotta get me some good loving. So he goes down to the pond. At this point, we cut over to Cartman now. This was confusing. I don't know if you noticed this in these next 2 scenes with Cartman. So the first scene, Cartman walks in, he's bummed out because his friends are, calling him big boned, and he's got a UFO up his ass. And so she...
ADOT's I-10 Broadway Curve Improvement Project is in the works. It's an 11-mile stretch of Interstate 10 between Loop 202 and I-17. When complete, your travel time through the area will be reduced. Access to Sky Harbor, retail centers, and colleges will be improved, and the region will be able to better support a growing economy and more. Keep up with the project and traffic updates at i10broadwaycurve.com and stay ahead of the curve. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Department of Transportation. ADOT's I-10 Broadway Curve Improvement Project is in the works. When complete, it will improve access to Sky Harbor, reduce travel time, and more. Stay ahead of the curve with traffic updates at i10broadwaycurve.com. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Department of Transportation.
Fights him in, and she's got the pancake surprise, the very synonymous thing that Eric Cartman loves, where it's pancakes with powdered donuts on top. I'm not gonna lie.
He is so fat. That sounds good though.
That sounds pretty bomb, doesn't it? So
right.
Fat, but that sounds bomb. And we're gonna have to have that at some point in our life, bro. So and it poured over with like maple syrup or whatever he pours over it. So bad. Anywho, so we're at this point, she invites him in. She tells him, is there anything I can make for you? No, leave me alone. She's like, I'm gonna make you some chocolate chicken pot pie. And he's like, actually, that's pretty good.
How about a nice chocolate chicken pot pie then?
Well, that sounds pretty good.
So then we cut back over to the pond now, where it's Kyle and Stan. Wendy shows up, and Kyle's like, can we get this fucking over with? Can you guys just make some love right now already? And so that I can help my brother. And Wendy's like, oh, what do you mean? What's going on with your brother? And he explains. And then Wendy's like, well, it sounds like to me that, the fat kid is the one who's got the satellite up his ass. So why don't we just go get the fat kid and use him as bait?
Yes. Why don't we use the fat kid as bait?
Paraphrasing, but that's pretty much what it was. And then we cut back over. Now, this was what's weird, okay? So when he comes home, it's still daylight, right? Because he leaves his friends. Guys, I'm going home. Now, he's watching TV now. As he's watching TV, he's eating his chocolate.
The kitty's watching.
Right, but he's eating his chocolate chicken pot pie, though, right? He's got his chocolate chicken pot pie. And the kitty's like, meowing, no, kitty, this is my pot pie. No, kitty, mom, kitty's being a dildo.
No, kitty, this is my pot pie. No, kitty, you bad kid. No, kitty's my pot pie. Mom, kitty's being a dildo.
Well, then I know a certain kitty who's sleeping with mommy tonight.
What?
Looks like a certain kitty's sleeping with mama.
I missed that part. I missed the dildo. I was like, I have that written down. I know a certain kitty that's sleeping with mommy tonight. What? I don't get it. Kitty's being a dildo.
Being a dildo looks like a certain kitty's gonna be sleeping with mommy tonight, and that's why Cartman goes, what? And that was hilarious. And now as an adult, it's even more funnier when you watch it multiple times because you're like, that's a great joke. That's just slips right in there. Okay, here's where it here's where it gets confusing, though, right? Eventually the kitty gets to a point where he annoys Cartman to where Cartman farts out gas and electrocutes the cat and runs away. Now the doorbell rings.
No, he set it on fire.
Or set it on fire, right? What it got electrocuted too from the lamp. If you didn't notice that. So now initially he told his mom when he came home, if anybody knocks on the door or anything, tell them I'm not here. Well, Stan, Kyle, and Wendy show up, and she just lets him in, right? And she's like, I think you should go play with your friends after he just fucking came home. Okay. So here's what I was thinking. She's holding cookies. She's trying to get rid of Cartman. She's a crack whore. What do you think's going on? Why would you send your son out into the middle of the night after he just came home and you made him some chocolate chicken pot pie?
She's doing some crack.
She was about to either that or there was some bud in those cookies. Something was in those special cookies, my friend. So anyway, they go outside.
This is where they take Cartman and set him up as bait, tie him to a tree. You said it's gonna work, guys.
So yeah, basically, there's also a side story going on with the cows. So the alien, right? So the aliens are initially what happens is the cows are disappearing.
That's the third cow this month. At this rate, all my cattle are gonna die before the winter's through.
This is nothing out of the unusual. Cows turn themselves inside out all the time.
People have been saying they've been seeing UFOs around.
UFOs?
Yeah, and Black Army CIA helicopters and trucks.
That is the silliest thing I've ever heard.
What was that?
That was a pigeon.
In South Park. And the cows itself are like running away because they can sense the aliens, right? And the the farmer, the rancher, whatever, he's trying to explain to Officer Barbrady, what seems to be the problem over here? And basically wants to talk to Officer Barbrady. Okay.
What seems to be the problem over here?
So anyway, he's trying to explain to Brady that his cows are disappearing, and Brady's like, "No, they're not."
And then aliens come out and take one, turn it inside out or something.
And he's like, "I'm sick and tired of you talking about all these people having your cows turned inside out, right?" And then all the cows run off, and he says he's going to get to the bottom of this. So meanwhile, this is where some stories start to collide, right? Because now Barbrady's chasing around the cows around town.
Hey, you cows can't get on this train. This is a people train. You cows have no business on a people train, all right? Because you cows. No. Don't try any of that cow hypnosis on me, all right? Because it's not going to work.
Hold it right there, cows. Come back here. Now, lad.
And this converges outside with Wendy and Stan and Kyle tying him up to a tree, using him as bait, telling him that he needs to fart. And he's like, nah, I'm not that for today.
And I had to fart anymore, guys. Come on, yes you do.
I don't think I have to fart anymore today, you guys. Come on, fart you. Fart, fat boy.
You guys, I have to get home. Don't be such a fraidy cat, Cartman. This rope will make sure they can't take you on board again. Oh, man, this sucks. How come the visitors aren't coming for him? I think we have to signal them somehow. Ah! Hey, he's like Rudolph. Yeah, all you have to do is fart some more, Cartman, and the visitors are sure to come.
Really? I don't think I have to fart anymore tonight.
Sure you do. Come on, Cartman, fart.
I don't wanna.
You can't hold it in forever. Fart, damn you!
So soon afterwards, a spaceship appears, fires back, and basically they're kind of trying to yell at him, luring them to come down. So eventually they come down.
Go on, Kyle. Ask him for your little brother back. Visitors, this morning you took my brother, Ike. He's the little freckled kid that looks like a football. At first, I was happy you took him away, but I've learned something today. That having a little brother is a pretty special thing. Yeah. Ah, heck, Mr. Visitors. I'm just a kid all alone in this crazy world. But if you could find it in your hearts or whatever you have to give my brother back to me, it sure would make my life brighter again. That was beautiful, dude. Did it work? Nope, they're leaving.
Whoa, dude! You know what you like? You like to
Hey, Wendy, what's up?
And they're like, "Go ahead, Kyle." And Kyle gives a heartfelt story about, today, visitors, I learned something today. It's not even about this. This is about family. Blah blah. And while I may not like him at times, that's my little freckled football head brother. And blah blah blah. And then eventually, he's got his head down, and he looks and he says to Kyle, "Stan, did it work?" And Stan says, "No, dude, they just turned around. They started walking away." And then Kyle turns up and he goes, "Hey, you fucking weirdos! What the fuck is wrong with you? You gotta be some kind of
child fuckers."
That's what he says?
Yeah, he calls them child fuckers.
Oh, okay. You gotta be some kind of sick child fuckers to fucking want to fuck with my little brother. That's it. And then I think Stan asked Wendy, "Hey, Wendy, what's a child fucker?"
That's right. And then, after all that, Ike is on the ledge, right? He's telling him to jump. He jumps.
Well, not yet. He tells him to jump. Meanwhile, that's going on. The cows are freaking out. So they're talking to the alien. They're like, all of a sudden, the alien goes, "Moo!" And then they're like,
"Moo, moo, 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 moo."
The cow's just like fucking chill. They're like, "Oh," he speaks our language, and then it's translated for us. Moo,
and it's like, why'd you turn this inside out?
Moo, 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 moo. And then he's all like, and the cow's like, "Moo, moo, moo, moo." And basically, what the conversation is like, "Hey, we think we come in peace." And the cow's like, "Well, then why did you turn us inside out?" And then he goes, "Oh, that's whatever. I forget what his name is."
I think it's Larry.
Oh, that's Larry. He's the new guy. And then Larry.
He's new.
He's new. Moo. Moo, moo, moo. My bad. And then he goes, "Here, we want to give you this gift." And meanwhile, that's going on. Kyle's yelling Ike, who's got all of a sudden the door is just open. I don't know how I got there, but he's just chilling there at the top, yelling, "Come on, jump. I'll catch you. I'm sorry, blah, blah." This is where he yells out something, and I had to look this up, and I still don't understand. And he says to Ike, "Do your impersonation of David Caruso." And Ike says, he says something like, "I'm going to jump," or "It's all down here," or...
Ike! Do your impersonation of David Caruso's career! It's my turn!
Or something along those lines, but I don't understand, because I looked up David Caruso. Do you know who David Caruso was? David Caruso was the guy on NYPD Blue, and he was on CSI Miami. He's retired now. Retired in 2012. But this show was made in 97, so I really couldn't find any controversy stuff about him.
That's weird.
Oh, no, that Ike says, "It's my turn." Do your impersonation of David Caruso. "It's my turn." So that was, I don't know, interesting. But that was what I caught there in that episode, or in that tail end of the episode. So Ike jumps. Kyle catches him. Aliens.
No, he falls in the snow head first.
Oh, that's right. He falls in the
From
snow.
However ridiculous high amount.
He doesn't die.
Falls.
He doesn't die from there, but when Obama gets elected and he jumps off the little ledge, he goes to the hospital. We'll get there.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
That's funny. So, the kids had a lot more free will back then, getting kicked through the school bus like a football, and he crashes through it. You hear the sound effects, and he's giggling. It comes out the other side. But
gotta love it how they kill him.
Right?
It's hilarious.
Overall, so the baby lands, Kyle gets him. The alien spaceship arises, and Ike jumps to safety. In the meantime, the visitors communicate with the cows in the area, having found them to be the most intelligent species of the planet. And Cartman is again abducted by the aliens, and then this time, when he returns at the end of the episode, he gets just like dropped off right before they have to go back to school. And he's like, "Oh, dude, I had the weirdest nightmare." Thinking was all a dream again. And they're like, "No, dude, you were abducted." And he's like, "Dude, if I was abducted, then I would have pink eye." And they're like, "No, dude,
like, you do have pink
eye." And he clearly has a pink eye. So that's how the episode ends. And I thought that was an interesting episode for a first episode. They jam-packed a lot in. What did you think?
It's still like I remember being 11 and watching it, thinking it was the coolest animation ever because you can see the shadows behind the pieces of paper. You know, it's really cool. You can even see teeth when they're talking in a tongue. I always thought that was like the coolest thing because when you think about it, it's done with paper, and to that, and you see Kyle running down the middle of the aisle on the bus, tell the bus driver to stop the bus, and you see his feet and their arms moving, you know, and that's done with paper.
Yeah,
I thought it was really like, and it's the first and only one that they actually did full with paper, right?
Yes, exactly.
That to me was always when I found that out earlier when I was younger, I was kind of disappointed because like, oh man, if you would have just kept it with the paper though. But I understand they could only do like 5, maybe 6 episodes a season, you know.
Yeah, I mean, imagine the process. I think it took them 3 to 6 months just to make that one episode. And that was because it was their first time. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like now they can churn out an episode in a week flat.
Stupid.
You know what I'm saying? In a week flat, they can turn out a brand new episode. So it's an interesting when you look. Yeah, you know definitely the artwork. You know, if you go back and just look at it, is interesting to see how everything moves along. You know, Garrison definitely has a distinct personality and look in these original episodes versus how he looks later. You know what I mean? He's actually a little bit skinnier, I'd say. A little bit thinner.
I agree.
I would almost say he's not even as grotesque as they end up making him look.
Yeah, a little bit.
You know what I'm saying? So now that also could be a cause of the kids wearing him down year after year. But that being said, he eventually does come on to become the president of the United States. Wait, you ready?
Where's my country gone?
You ready? You ready? Here's my face. Ready? Ready? So, but yeah, no, overall, I thought it's interesting that it got negative and positive reaction. And then eventually in the next episode, after they've now been picked up by Comedy Central, they've pivoted versus having to do everything with stop motion technology. Now, I imagine they still had to do some form of stop motion technology still here in the first couple of episodes because you're not going to have everything on that computer, right? So you're going to have to migrate it into the computer as you use it. But nowadays, man, all they have to do is go into their database and they just go bloop, bloop, doot, doot. Here, boom, boom. All right, let's do the voices. All right, what do you want to talk about in this episode? All right, let's talk about this. All right, let's do it. And then if there is something they have to like make something new that they haven't created before, then they just draw it up, put it in. Now they have it. You know what I'm saying? So now they've got it for their database. Yeah. So that's why they can easily churn out a full episode in a week because all they have to do really is create the script and then their graphic people will make it and fit it in.
So cool. Still pretty cool.
So, but yeah, no, South Park episode 1. I mean, overall, I give this, I'd say, on an A to F scale, I'd give this a B, a solid B.
Okay. Yeah. I'm with you. I'm going to give it a B plus. Mainly because it was, I'm pretty sure, the first actual like construction paper animation, pushing the oh, you're gonna just be like everybody else, but he ended up not being like anybody else.
I'm pretty sure Nickelodeon probably did something like that, or some sort of kids network, paper mache. I'm pretty sure the Japanese probably did something like that, origami. They probably weren't the first to do stop motion with paper, bro. I'm just saying.
You're right. All right.
However, they were the first to do it with adult language. That's for sure. Like in that regard, they were definitely one of the first to do it in a late night capacity, with paper and, have 4 kids be the center focus. These innocent children, these innocuous kids who have now grown up before our eyes. I mean, they've 23 seasons they just completed, Ian. That's 2/3 of our lives, bro. South Park has been on the air
since 1997.
August 13th, 1997, a day that will live in infamy. The very first episode on Comedy Central of South.
I was 11 years old. I remember my parents trying to block that channel, and I knew their password. And I remember my friend was supposed to sneak over, but he never did. And I watched it, and I went to bed. So happy.
So I didn't get to watch it in 97 because I was only 9. Okay. So when I was 9, let's see, what was I doing? I think I was just getting to the point where my dad was letting me stay up till 9 o'clock. And I was just so happy about that. I meant an extra hour of playing Sega Genesis. You know what I'm saying? I got an extra hour of Tecmo Super Bowl or an extra hour of Shining Sword. Hell yeah. Or NBA Jam? Hell yeah. Game on.
NBA Jam. Love that game.
1997 though. Interesting year, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, 9 years old. I didn't actually, of course, get to watch, like I said, until that movie came out. Because at that point, I was about 11. So, like, then I was Comedy Central was like showing every episode at that point. They were doing like a weekend thing, and I think I just watched them all in one weekend. Like I was off, you know what I mean? So like my parents didn't bother me. I just hung out in my bedroom watching TV, and anytime they'd come into the room, I would just flip the channel, flip it back to like Nickelodeon or something, and then fuck you, Dad. What are you watching, son? Oh, that was Hey Arnold. What did Hey Arnold just said? He said, "I'm gonna thump you bad." Oh, okay, I'm gonna thump you bad. Gotcha. I was like, oh, South Park, it's paying off. I'm learning. Well, Ian, I think that's going to wrap it up here for the very first episode of the South Park podcast. Do you have any final thoughts on this episode?
No, just, being the OG, the one that's actually out of full paper 100%, just holds a special place, Could always watch that and still find something new to laugh at. Some little nuance that I missed, like the whole, what did I miss? The dildo with the cat, I've rewatched this show so many times, and now it's the first time. Mom, kid's being a dildo. Oh, well, I know a certain kitty who's spending the night with mommy.
Right? It's like each time you go back and watch South Park, you find a new joke and you find something new. Like I watched South Park so much at this point now, I'm like picking different things. I'm like, did you notice that it went from day to night? Like in this order, you'll see that the news reporter in the background had the crescent starlight in the background where it was not quite yet dark but not quite yet light. Was that meant to affirm to the audience that the changing of weather was taking place for its viewers? That's how a South Park fan would ask, or a super fan would ask. That's not something I would ever ask them in person, but well, I'm Mathew Shaffer. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Mathew_Shaffer. You can get at us at an email that I have yet to predetermine yet. It's in the description. Find it there. I still don't know what it is. You still don't know what it is either.
And I'm Ian Calano, a.k.a. Scoop Jackson, the Sunshine Kid right here next to me. And soon to have a Twitter. I will be... I draw the line, though. I am only going to be on Twitter. That's it. Only Twitter.
Don't get it.
I don't, and I...
here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to create a Suck My Balls podcast Twitter, and then you can just use that.
There you go. Okay.
Then you don't have to actually use your own Twitter.
Yeah, you can, All right. I like it.
Then we can both use it, too.
Heck yeah.
So we'll do that. If you're listening to the show, hopefully by then, this is episode 2. We've got that Twitter. Otherwise, we're going to make it.
We're going to make it.
We're going to do it. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, I've hoped you've had a great time hanging out with us on this edition of the South Park Suck My Balls podcast review. I'm Mathew Shaffer. He's Ian Calano. We'll see you on down the road. We hope you had a good time. Thanks for dropping by South Park.
Suck my balls. 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 Suck my balls.